Welcome back to Fox Netball. We're at Ken Rosewall Arena here in Sydney, and the crowd making their way and expecting just over 9,000 for this clash between the New South Wales Swifts, the minor premiers, and the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Kim Green joining me in commentary, Emily Beaton on the sideline for us. And Kim, well, the Swifts looking fairly relaxed at the moment. There's no reason they shouldn't be. We know the result doesn't affect what they're doing. This side, however, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, big job at hand.
Oh, certainly, Kath, and I think the one thing that they have in the back of their mind is that they've been inconsistent this season, but they're going up against the most consistent this season. So certainly a tough task on their hand, but we look at that lineup, Eleanor Cardwell in the shooter, Hannah Petty, the captain, gets a start in centre, and that tough defensive end in Wilson, Garrett and Sterling certainly want to have a good start against the Swifties.
Certainly has become the terrific trio in defence, hasn't it? There's the minor premiers, and listen to the crowd roar. There's a reminder of their Woolworths team card and how they will line up. The co-captains in the mid-court, and Romelda Aiken-George, what a fantastic story. Keep your eyes on her very first shot of the game. That'll be her 8,000th. Easy for me to say. There they come together. Plenty of smiles on the face. They look so relaxed, and what an amazing opportunity. Not many teams have an opportunity like this to go out, maybe a little bit of experimenting game style, maybe some experimenting with players on court. Kim, great position to be in.
It is, and you saw the Swifties come into the middle just then and go, hey, this is our house, this is our huddle, this is our court. So looking forward to this one.
Well, they know they'll be back here next week too. As part of that major semi-final, they have won the right to host it here at Ken Rosewall Arena, and it will be a sellout for sure. The countdown is on. Maddie Proud, well, she's a great netball, we know that, but what an amazing person. Saw the hug to the ball girl, and we're underway here. Round 14, the last round before we hit the finals. Can you believe how quickly the season's gone? Here is Aiken-George. Can she nail the 8,000? She does.
There it is.
She'll be completely unaware of that accolade. Just another one for her.
Well, the Swifts looking good as we see that turnover just then, but look how quick they get it down court.
Well, offside. Paige Hadley just way too fast for her own good then. Couldn't put the brakes on. That will be an area, won't it, though? They'll put defence on early, knowing that the Adelaide Thunderbirds throw ball away. Yeah,
that's right, and it's a transition again. We see another fumble over the sideline. Their transition at the moment, their turnover conversion is 64%, where the Swifts are sitting at 70. So certainly something to look at for this team. Proud just pauses for a moment before she goes over the top to Aiken-George. Well, that is the key matchup inside the circle there. Sterling, Aiken-George, the Jamaican teammates over the top. Beautiful ball to Housby. It was a risky one, Kath. Well, anything in the air, I think in the general vicinity of Shamira Sterling's a risky ball, is it not? Yeah, it is, and I think Maddie Proud will look at that next and maybe have a look at the fake on that and open up George at the front.
Helen Housby. Oh, that's the other person you've got to be very, very wary of.
Well, and it's that closing speed and that ability to just go and have a crack and be fearless.
That's a good time to get a ball over Shamira Sterling when she's down on the ground.
Decide for defence. That's it.
Aiken-George makes good with another.
And she's looking a bit ginger in the background, Kath.
Well, that is the last thing the Adelaide Thunderbirds want to see, isn't it? Heading into their first campaign in finals in 10 seasons. Petty, the captain. Cardwell, back to Petty. Dwan's got to have a big game too, doesn't she? Take some pressure off Cardwell. Sarah Clow. Oh, she had a brilliant game last week.
Well, look, I mean, they had everything in their hands just then. They just needed to take a moment. I know a lot of teams, when they come up against the Thunderbirds in particular, they continue to play at their speed. So that's something to watch for, and it's a great strength of Thunderbirds that they're able to have and manipulate that situation.
Look at the full court pressure defensive-wise coming from the Swifts. Every single ball has got a Swift player on it, all hands over. Well, they've held them up. Now they release a little bit of pressure through Cardwell. Dwan, the front offer. It's a Be her first shot of the game and makes good. So the Thunderbirds finally get themselves on the board. Taken 3 minutes. Proud. Housby. Probably a silly penalty from Garrett.
Yeah, one that you can just stay in play, especially on that sideline, create pressure there. It's a hard angle to feed it from that space to stay in play.
Well, the Swifts now make it 4. Adelaide Thunderbirds, they desperately need this one.
Oh, well done to the Thunderbirds on that one. They could see that there was a wall on the centre pass. Dwan figured out that she had Fraser on it, got into the circle pretty quickly.
Let's go down to Em Beaton. She is from Adelaide. She knows this side well. What have you made of the opening minutes, Em?
Yeah, I've just been looking at the contrast between their approach to goal from both sides. We've seen a lot of turnovers so far, but when the Swifts are in attack, they look so definite in their moves. Every single player knows what they're doing. Pop that into contrast. Watch as the Thunderbirds come down. Players look hesitant in their moves. They're not sure where to pass, who to pass to, and who's free. So I think there's a real contrast between the both teams.
Em, I want to come back to you and ask, though, after so many games of throwing ball away, how much of that becomes a mental battle for the Adelaide Thunderbirds?
Yeah, it sits in the back of your head. We saw Tipper Dwan. We spoke about her pre-game needing a big one, and her first 2 touches were turnovers. So I think it does weigh on their minds, but the only way to get over that is to get on court, put out a strong performance and just go for it.
Well, go for it. They are. If they sink this, they've got themselves back to level. Well, and that all happened in the blink of an eye too. So the quick response from the Adelaide Thunderbirds, I think that's an early message to the Swifts. They're not going to go away in this contest. Long ball, Sterling.
You're so right, Kath. And that setup just there was all about building pressure so Sterling could go and have a crack at something, and that's exactly what she did.
It was on the rare occasion too that it slipped through the fingers. Couple of quick ones from the Adelaide Thunderbirds now, and that is a much better, much smoother, and much more confident looking passage of play.
Well, and it was the release from Horges. It was nice and quick out of the hands before anyone could set anything up. Oh, Cardwell. That's the leadership you want right there. She was determined for that ball.
Hasn't she made the world of difference to this Adelaide Thunderbirds line, season 2023? 5 apiece here. See plenty of jostling, but the one that burst through is Cardwell. Loves to take control.
Yeah, and that's how they're going to do it. Find the body of Plough and sit on her late, present, and Horges held up that ball beautifully so that she could just place it, but they need to go and find a body.
Garrett, Dwan. Looking to keep it short here. Petty, Cardwell. Well, when they keep it short, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, it looks crystal, doesn't it? Apart from that one, off the fingertips of Dwan.
Well, and it's about broadening your vision on that one. Horges had Cardwell right there. He's exactly the same feed. She just needed to just see it a little bit wider.
Hadley back to Cloud, Turner. Dwan trying to put some pressure on, but pulls the penalty in the process. Wilson, well, that's that closing speed that you spoke about. Look at that, the intercept straight to the assist. Can't get it to Paul Cardwell.
I don't mind that. When a shooter just backs himself in and doesn't go and, muck around with it. The fact that they just threw it in, she went to post straight away, just shows that she has confidence in herself.
Well, that's their job, isn't it? So I 100% agree with you. No one else is going to shoot the goals.
Only you out of us can say that.
So the Adelaide Thunderbirds find themselves up by 2 now. Proud. Hadley. Back to Hadley. Housby doing a lot of work out the front. And a brilliant ball that's just gotten inch by inch more perfect as the season's gone on between those two. Helen Housby, Aiken George.
Well, Thunderbirds just taking a moment here, going back to the line on that one. That's a good reset of time, changing the pace of the game. There it is, opens up.
Well, that was all about the Dwan drive, wasn't it, baseline? She put the head down, went through the gap, and it opened Cardwell up. Taking their time here to set this penalty, the Swifts. Adelaide. Proud. What a move, Kim Green, to get herself smack bang at the top of the circle.
Well, all 4 Swifties were outside their players, almost in a box formation. A quick little dodge, inject the power and the speed, top of the circle. Brilliant.
Gorgeous. Yeah, well, she had Cardwell present early, didn't she? But must have felt too much defensive pressure from Clow and Turner.
Whole time, goalkeeper deciding away, reset the penalty on my whistle.
Oh, you heard it very clearly there. The umpire didn't like the fact that Sarah Clow had moved off the spot where the penalty was set before the ball was released.
And defenders can be cheeky, as we know, Cass.
Oh,
and they do like to move a little early or stand in front.
Proud. Oh, very patient here, the Swifts, aren't they? The back and forth, they centre it nicely. And then Aiken George, whoa! Shamira Sterling, #1 for blocks in the league, sits on 8. That's the 9th, and it's on one of the tallest players in the competition. That is no easy feat.
Absolutely isn't. And she just keeps on getting better, and she keeps surprising you with these. Let's have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. It's the timing. Not everyone can do that. Liz Ellis used to do it brilliantly back in the day, but you have a look at Sterling. She's got these long-rangey arms, but it's the timing. You've got to be able to use what you have.
Well, Sarah Clow using what she has, and that's some great footwork to get in front there.
Coming to the game, in goal attack, Sophie Forbes.
Swing across to Petty, waits for something to open. Well, 2 options, one at the top, one at the base.
I always think that the Thunderbirds shooting end like to get in each other's way a little bit to just confuse space of the defenders. Have a look in the next play. Cardwell and Dwan in the same space, almost jostling for who's going to go.
Pausing centre, contact centre.
Very smart play from Maddie Proud down court. Kept her player behind her. And there's the siren, the start of the first power 5 in this game.
And here's the change-up, Coxie. We see Fawns going to goal attack and Howsby back to goal shooter.
We didn't see this much last week, though. Sophie Fawns only on for a moment. Didn't sink a super shot during that time. Sarah Clow, well, that was passed directly to her. I'm sure it still goes down as an intercept. One of the easiest she takes, though.
And look at the transition once again, but good hold up from Hadley. Just to go, we could have forced that one, but we're just going to take a moment.
Well, the reason Sophie Fawns is on is because of that. Not to put the pressure on her, but she didn't mind, did she? Suncorp super shot for Sophie Fawns. Oh, Proud. Well, she did well to take it. And the other one impressive from this distance. Right there, Helen Howsby.
The plays from those two just then. The fact that Proud was able to hold her feet, but place Howsby in that space.
Well, I don't know that anyone is surprised by this HCF tactical timeout. Look how quickly the Swifts blew that score out in a matter of seconds. We'll go down and have a listen to Tanya Obst.
All right. Okay, we need to have a bit of a look at something like this. So you're right on Helen. Yeah? Yep. Yeah, GD. Yep. Laddie, bring the ball to the line. Same thing. Yep. Then yours stand tall from the line down. You just stay on the wide. Yeah? Rightio.
That's really good intensity, guys. I want you to step it up one more. Okay, we know exactly what they're going to do. We're going to do our job. All right, intensity. Let's go. Energy on 3. 1, 2, 3. Energy. Let's go.
Kim Green. For a moment, our hearts stopped beating. We thought Shamira Sterling was being taken off the court. She's been moved to goal defence. LaTanya Wilson, shorter, has been moved back to goalkeeper. Is this all about this Power 5?
It is the tactic. They went straight over, and Tanya Ops knew exactly what she was doing. She forgot to tell Sterling that she's going to go defence, but you could see this is a play that they've talked about, and they know their role within it.
The gamesmanship pre-finals, gotta love it.
Love it.
Between the two coaches here, let's keep an eye on how this all plays out in the remaining 3 and a bit minutes. Well, Cardwell, she'll want to get this score a little closer. Can't nail it. So the Swifts can really put the foot down here, can't they?
They sure can. And it's that transition once again. Oh! Wilson!
Unlucky, but exactly why she's been brought into the circle in this Power 5 time. Oh, off the hand. Well, Helen Housby puts the hands to the head.
It also looked like they were going to do a lift on the defensive play as well, so keep an eye on that.
Oh, Sarah Clow again, gifted. 2 intercepts, absolutely gifted. Fortunately for the Thunderbirds, Shamira Sterling has now got her presence a little further down the court. Gorgeous. Dwan, well, thought about it. Still not happy with what they're getting. Passing it around here, the 2 mid-quarters for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They'll take the one.
And that was a good feed by Petty, but she does have 2 turnovers to her name in this first quarter. Probably needs to tighten that up a little bit.
Beautiful place ball. They'll be quite happy to let that one go, though. Just the 1-pointer.
Yeah, and I think that's the great thing about the Swifts is that they're able to do both really well. And they have the confidence to do so. We see Austin coming to the game now for Cardwell. And Cardwell looks to be coming on in goal attack. So another couple of changes for the Thunderbirds.
Oh, the tactics are coming thick and fast in this opening quarter. Gotta love it. Dwan sinks one. And she gets it back to 3, the difference.
I like that they're doing it in the first quarter and not waiting to the last to try and, you know, build themselves back into a game. They're doing really well. It's just now about keeping that connection, the Thunderbirds.
Here's the Nissa Net Points match leaders. 3 Swifts and one of them for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Wilson sitting at number 2, just takes another intercept. Sarah Clow again. Well, it's a bit of a Clow fortress down that end.
Well, and now it's the smarts of the feeders of the Thunderbirds to try and change the timing up of the Austin feed. It's a little bit different. You'll probably give it a little bit quicker.
Well, Cardwell doesn't want to take the penalty. Sarah Clow again. Playing out of her skin the last couple of weeks. Excited to see that matchup again next week, potentially on Janelle Fowler in that major semi. Well, back to 2 the difference. Just like that, the Thunderbirds in the centre pass to follow. So they can get a Suncorp super shot here. They've got themselves back to level before the main break. Austin has been brilliant when she's come on as an impact player. 1 the difference.
Well, we spoke about pre-game, you know, the fact that they used her early in the season a little bit more, and it's nice to see her out there to give her that confidence, that's for sure.
Housby, quick 1-2 with Proud, dishes off to Fawns, who had the hot hand early, drops short. Oh, the Thunderbirds getting tips on it, but not able to pull it in. There is the end of the first quarter off the back of a fumble from the Adelaide Thunderbirds defence, and the Swifts, they head into the first quarter break up by the 2, 16-14.
Welcome back to Ken Rosewall Arena, where the Swifts are currently leading the Thunderbirds by 2 goals. I've just been listening into the Thunderbirds camps where Shamira Sterling has just re-strapped her ankle. She went down in that first quarter, was looking a little bit ginger. There was a lot of attention spoken to the Thunderbirds attackers, in particular Tipper Dwan and Georgie Horgis, from their coach, Tanya Obe. So hopefully we can see a new lease of life and injection for the Thunderbirds. Now over to Kim. What did you hear from the Swifts?
Yeah, well, Bryony Akel went straight to her defenders and talked about how they're going to nullify the Thunderbirds in that Power 5 time. So keep an eye on this. She wants both Turner and Clow on a 2-on-1 in the circle, and Fraser going and having a crack at something in the pocket. Isolate Dwan out the front or whoever is in that goal attack position.
Oh, thanks, ladies. Got ears everywhere we do here at Fox Netball. And that, of course, was our Origin Energy quarter-time break. Nearly back to the action, so great to hear firstly about Shamira Sterling. And there she is having a chat with her Jamaican World Cup teammate. Of course, if you're a fan of the Jamaican netball team, you can watch them as well during the World Cup on Fox Netball. Every single game, not just the Diamonds games, will be live. As a netball fan, I'm very excited about that myself. Second quarter about to get underway here, and the Adelaide Thunderbirds with the centre pass, so they can start strong and positively here, Kim.
Yeah, they're really looking at, you know, getting that attacking line onto that goal circle, and that's the feed you want. You want that one-on-one, quick one under the post, and Cardwell sinking it. A great start from them.
Still the smile on her face, Elle Cardwell. She loves the contest, doesn't she? Loves the big games. Proud. Sorry, Hadley. Oh, Turner almost stepped, trying to get rid of the ball there. Well, the defensive pressure here upped a notch from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Have a look at the Swifts struggling to get across the line.
Well, you can see the work from both Petty and Latanya Wilson, just really sitting off but pushing high. It was hard work to get it there, and that is going to take its toll. So Thunderbirds doing a fantastic job on that one.
Gorgeous. Back to Garrett. The tip comes from Housby, so she just lets it dribble over the line. Gorgeous. Petty. Cardwell out of the circle. Now gets herself back in. She got spat out the back of the court too. A little push coming from Turner. Taking their time here, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Not an issue with that if they keep possession.
Keep your eyes on Cardwell. Dwan could have just placed it over and made it easier work than going back out.
Her hold then, though. You can't move her. Ball's got to be given, doesn't it? Just like that one.
And she wants it. If she wants it, you give it. That's how I've always worked with shooters that I've ever played with. If they're saying yes, you give it.
Just like that one too, straight over the top. Some great vision coming from the captain, Hannah Petty. And we're back to level. Well, they can get themselves in front here, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, for the first time in the game.
And it was a close circle start with Dwan and Cardwell both starting in the circle on the centre pass, and I like it. It allows Dwan to come a little bit deeper and punch up the middle.
How good was that camera work too, following the play down the sideline? Housby. Oh, there's a tip again from Wilson. Hasn't she been brilliant in this opening part of the game? Already 5 deflections. Well, as we've become far too used to, the Adelaide Thunderbirds throwing it away. Turner, strong take.
And a little giggle as she's running back on court.
Oh, good take there too from Turner. Fraser. Well, this is where the defensive pressure has been good, hasn't it, Kim?
It really has, going into that goal third in particular. You've got hands in everywhere, and I love that they're really sticking to that structure. It hasn't been easy for the Thunderbirds getting these balls back at the moment, but when they're building like this, good things happen.
Oh, that is a good thing, speaking of balls, but one of the rare occasions the captain, Maddie Proud, sprays it. Well, let's talk about Maddie Proud's opening quarter, because, Kim, we had a quick look at the stats, and she's been damaging.
She has been damaging, and the feeds alone, normally you see Proud and Hadley share the load on those, but 13-2 they were at quarter time. So Proud really having a lot of workload in that feeding. I know Hadley will probably want to lift in that position.
Gorgeous. Over the top to Dwan, so pretty heavy 2-on-1 defence on Cardwell at the moment, which allows Dwan just to do that, to sneak in front. Well, the rebound goes to Georgie Horges, of all people.
A little tip in there from Dwan, I would say.
Dwan sinks it, so the Adelaide Thunderbirds get themselves out by the 2 and the centre pass to follow.
They still look hesitant for mine. They're not giving that ball, but look, the last 4 or to the Thunderbirds, but you can see, like, there's only one option. Make it easy for yourself and start together. Help each other, start doing screens through the middle.
Well, what a comeback. They actually had the last 8 of the 10 there. Well, 8 of the last 10, I should say. Proud.
Step forward. Step forward.
Yeah, Romelda can happily give up the longer shot to Helen Housby for either the shot or the pass off. Maddie Turner. Housby pushing through. Back to Turner. Fraser. Well, this is the bit they've been stuck a couple of times. Contact goal defence outside the circle. Garrett looked a little perplexed by that.
Latanya Wilson has been in everything. I just watched her for the last 10 seconds of her work rate on Hadley. Hadley could not get the ball and had no idea where to run.
Well,
She's
this is
doing
a good point,
great
mate,
job.
because we talked about how much Maddie Proud's doing, but is it because Hadley's been completely shut out of the game?
Or you saw that on the Harvey Norman replay, just that tip. And, you know, a lot of wing defences would have gone, oh, no, I'm not going to get that one. But just to go and have a crack, just especially when the shooters are passing it, they have to pinpoint that pass. So have a crack at it.
Oh, well, Dwan! She made something out of absolutely nothing then. A shot that went awry from Cardwell saves the day, the shortest person in the circle. What a play from Tipper Dwan. Adelaide Thunderbirds still up by 2, and this will be a good penalty for them. Sarah Clow caught outside the circle, a long way from home. So keep an eye on the Thunderbird shooters here, what they'll do with this. Well, again, another penalty. So Dwan, yeah, smart work, just waited for the push to come from Sarah Clow.
Well, and she allowed the umpire to see it. I think that's the important part in all of this. You can put yourself in a position, but if it's not in the right one where the umpire can see it, there's no point. Then there's not going to be a call. She did a great job.
Sophie Fawns onto the court. Helen Housby to take a seat for a little while. I suspect she'll be back in 3 minutes at the start of the Power 5. Aiken steadies. Well, the Adelaide Thunderbirds winning this quarter 8-3. They'll be absolutely wrapped with the way they've responded after being down by 3 early.
And Williams coming on in that centre position, Kath, she would have been disappointed in her performance last week. We can see the knee is heavily strapped, but she'll be wanting to put her best foot forward in this game, especially in this first 5 minutes.
Unbeaten Helen Housby goes to the bench. Well, you don't often see that happen. Anything in that?
Well, I expect we will see her again, but it's really interesting. She has been coming off stellar performances of 100+ in the Nissan net points, currently sitting at -12 with 4 general play turnovers. So quite a game so far. Can she turn it around?
Well, I'm going to say yes, because it's Helen Housby. Through the fingers of Romelda Aiken-George. So isn't that interesting? Helen Housby leaves the court, and suddenly there's a few sprayed balls in attack for the New South Wales Swifts. And you could hear her just saying then, is it a little wide maybe? Aiken-George though, what a way to respond.
Well, and it's interesting because we talk about Housby, but we haven't spoken about Garrett and the workload that she's been doing out there. She's been in play quite a bit, but we take a look at this replay, just beautiful hands over. You'd be so happy with a shooter getting a little tip and a pick up like that. But Garrett has been great in this game. If we haven't spoken about Housby all that much, she's doing her job.
Yeah, you're so right. Often doesn't necessarily mean intercepts and the like, does it? But taking your player out, well, that is just a terrible ball from Georgie Horges. She knows I still love her. But Cardwell did extremely well to get her body around even to a good position that wasn't going to be a contact.
And that's one of her strengths, right? Is just making sure that her body gets in the way of the ball or the player. And I love when Cardwell's able to do that. The placement has not been great from the Thunderbirds, and they just need to be able to place it just in front, get it in front of her. Make sure that she doesn't have to do as much work. It's exhausting.
Okay, you come out. Okay, So we need double plays here, double plays work, bring the ball down. Think about your starting position. Yeah, yep. Do you want to put left over this? Doesn't even realise change it? Yeah. Okay, let's swing it back, out. You go back. All right. Well, we don't have another tactic. Yeah, let's do it now. Doing it now.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Have a look at that. Let's go. We're up at half time.
The line, you stand.
Yep. Let's go.
What's in the pass?
Right.
Okay, let's go. Big smiles on faces. Last
Let's go.
five.
T-Birds on 3. 1, 2, 3. T-Birds. Let's go.
HCF tactical timeout sees 4 big changes. Make that 5 big changes. Wow.
It's a tactic.
It's 6 big changes. I'm just having a look down the court here from Tanya Obbs, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Wilson and Sterling have swapped again. Nankivell on to wing defender. Williams into the middle. I might need to have a breath here. Cardwell out at goal attack and Austin back at goal shooter.
I mean, you could have just said Williams stayed in centre and
Well,
or just in wing attack.
It would have been far easier.
Well, you can see it's a clear tactic here going into this power 5. You heard Tanya Ott say we don't have another timeout, so we need to do it now. And interesting language from Tracy Neville too.
Well, you thought it was an odd sight in the circle if you've just joined us. Shamira Sterling out at goal defence, Latanya Wilson back at goalkeeper. They have not played those positions all season.
And we've seen it twice in 2 quarters now. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Oh, it just keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? It will be certainly doing that for Bryony Akel as she thinks about her next coaching move.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. The Swifts are so consistent, but by changing it up all the time, they have to keep thinking about what they're doing. Super smart from the Thunderbirds.
This could be a real coaching win and strategy going forward for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Whoa! The pressure built out the front, and again, it's Wilson, the bench for the Adelaide Thunderbirds on their feet.
That was incredible. My goodness, the fact that they were able to cover each other. Sterling comes out, Wilson on the back.
Have a look now at the Nissanet points, the match leaders. 3 Adelaide Thunderbirds sitting at the top, and I don't think anyone's surprised to see Wilson at number 1. Oh, dare I say it, Swifts look a little shaken.
Here's the replay we wanted to see. Latanya Wilson going with 2 hands. Sterling wants it as well.
Kim Green, let's talk about this quarter score breakdown. 10 to the Adelaide Thunderbirds, 5 to the New South Wales Swifts.
Make that 11. It's been a huge turnaround, and you can now start to see an attack. They're starting to fly. It's the confidence from defence to attack. It's important.
And the New South Wales Swifts, well, they're having to go back a bit here. Fraser, Proud, trying to inject a little something with some quick double plays.
Contact goalkeeper when you are sitter.
Wilson will not die. Fawns, the Suncorp super shot. Whoa, she'll probably take a big deep breath as she sees that one hit the bottom of the net.
Oh, good transition on second phase from Williams there. She saw that both wing attack, goal attack were over the line. Austin needs to sit on that. She needs to have that core stability to be able to land that and shoot it properly. That was a big moment just then.
Well, can the Swifts steal back some momentum? They can if they can score off this one. Proud, waiting, Fraser. Long ball finds Hadley, back to Fraser again.
Well, this long court zone is certainly putting a lot of pressure on the Swifties at the moment.
Have a look at the work Maddie Proud's having to do when that zone is set up.
Multiple options from her, and she's the one that's really trying to create something. But you need someone else, or go and sit on a body. Try something completely different. Don't just try and outrun them. You know that they can close that speed quickly.
Ellen Housby sinks her second Suncorp super shot of the game. 7 the difference, a long one. Sophie Ford's listen to the crowd. Shamira Sterling! Well, it was the jump initially from Wilson. Sterling the follow, and then it ended up in the hands of Williams. What a defensive play, followed by a very slick attacking play from the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
That's what defensive dreams are made of. Let's have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. It's a lift to a block. Are you kidding me?
Wow, they have turned it up, not just one notch, but quite a few here, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Sarah Clow. Well, they keep it here, the New South Wales Swifts. Hadley down. Fraser. The crowd suddenly very vocal, recognising their team in red needs some support here. Wilson again.
You would normally see Housby shoot those ones. Not certain why she wanted to go on the pass.
Williams ended up in that same spot moments ago, finding some great space in attack for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. 9 the difference, Kim Green.
Yeah, it's been an impressive second quarter.
Hey, I just added another one.
Oh,
Don't mind me.
bad at math.
Housby, well, that's where she's so good.
Well, and she's shaking her head going, why didn't I do that on the last one?
Williams, beautifully weighted ball over the top to Lucy Austin. They just need the one here. Keep chipping away at this score. Clock counting down, just over 40 seconds of play. Fawns. Can she sink another? She's been good. Helen Housby has to. Drains it for the New South Wales Swifts. Helen Housby. Won the difference. 24 seconds remaining on the clock. Plenty of time here for the Adelaide Thunderbirds to score.
No one in the circle at the moment, Kath.
Williams. Oh, Cardwell just wants to make an easy connection.
Nice move from Austin.
Yeah, and they're going for the super shot too, aren't they? There it is, off the hand, the hot hand of Eleanor Cardwell. And that will be the end of the opening half. And the Adelaide Thunderbirds find themselves up by 3, 32-29. Well, what a response from that first quarter, Kim Green. They were down by 2, and then they find themselves up by the 9 goals in the second quarter. Let's get straight down to Emily Beaton, who's with one of the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
I'm with Latanya Wilson. Latanya, incredible first half from you and the team. Talk me through these tactical changes. We see you at goalkeeper. What's the story behind all this?
I think we know for sure that Swift is a very good shooting end, and our aim going into this was to try and limit them from taking as much 2 points as possible. And I guess with my ability to actually on the ball outside of the circle, give us a little bit more depth for them to force the ball actually over where I can have a look at it. And it's going pretty well, which is good.
I think that's an understatement. You have got 7 deflections, 3 intercepts in a half of netball. How happy are you with your game so far?
Oh my God. I didn't even know that I was doing that well, but yeah. I'm so happy. I knew that coming into this game that my work was actually cut out for me, and it was just more of just there's nothing to lose, it's just give everything today, and that's what I've been doing, so that's good.
And what can we expect to see from the Thunderbirds in the second half?
Just continue fighting. I think with this game it's more about possession ball and keep grinding the ball into attack. And if we can put up that 2 point or that 1 point, then that is what will get us over the line in today's game, which is good.
Well, good luck for the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Latanya Wilson. Hasn't she been a superstar in this opening half? The Thunderbirds up by 3.
You are watching Fox Netball, where the first game of the final round of Suncorp Super Netball live and exclusive here at Ken Rosewell Arena is living up to all of the hype in round 2. We only got 30 minutes of netball between these premiership contenders, and in round 14, well, we are enjoying every second of it. Kim Green, joins me, as does Emily Beaton. Ladies, when we reflect on the first half, the Thunderbirds have a narrow 3-goal lead, but it was a half of 2 quarters, wasn't it? Because the Swifts came out singing first, Kim.
Well, and it's exactly what happened in their first game in round 2. Swifts came out firing, and then the Thunderbirds came back into the game. I love what we're seeing from the Thunderbirds at the moment, the consistency, the ability to get the ball down the court, but defensively, gosh, they're good.
Talk about wholesale changes with 6 minutes to go before the end of the first half. Tanya Ox goes, let's do it. Everyone changed positions, and it's exactly what the Thunderbirds needed to get back into this one, Em.
And don't you love it when you can see a team has done their homework and they are absolutely executing a game plan? Latanya Wilson in goalkeeper has been a masterstroke, yet at wing defence she is absolutely on song as well. She has been everywhere.
And also the cage ball of Sterling. Let her out, let her rip, and you can see what she's doing. The impressive work over the shot, the lift to the block, my goodness, I've never seen anything like it.
What ankle injury? I'm sorry. She was playing goal defence at one stage and then she restrapped that ankle and she came back out. What that's done on the other side of the court for the Swifts, and we saw Helen Housby leave the court midway through that second quarter, sitting on -12 missing net points. That is unheard of numbers for their star shooter. What happens now?
Yeah, I think she's a champion player. I think she will bounce back, but this is what happens when you throw a different defensive style at a team that has just been playing so harmoniously together. It's throwing something new where they don't know what to expect, so you've got to adapt in the moment, and it's not something they've had to do for so many weeks.
What do you expect Bryony Ankle to focus on in the second half, and maybe do the Swifts make some changes of their own?
Yeah, I think the thing that she'll be asking from the Swifts is not so much changes, but also just making sure that they do the little things well. Stick together. Don't go and play on your own time or on your own race. You have to work together. So whether or not it's screens or little pinballs, little balls to get to the top of the circle, allow yourself that time to get there. Don't worry about whether or not it looks pretty, just get there.
And you know who is getting there? One of the engine room mid-quarters for the Swifts. Paige Hadley being shut out of this game, so a lot of the workload, Kim, is falling to that woman on screen, Maddie Proud.
Yeah, it is. And we spoke about that during commentary, the amount of feeds that Proud has had to put in. But that is the work of Latanya Wilson on Hadley. But Proud is up to it. She knows. She thrives on the ability to run. She's like a thoroughbred, isn't she? She wants to get out there and run, and that's what she does so well. So she'll keep going at this speed for the whole game.
Yeah, she's incredible, and one of the things I love about Maddie is her vision into the circle. She delivers that ball so quickly. The connection that she has with Romelda Aiken, they just see each other's eyes and the ball goes in. Yeah. So when heads are down, she can give balls that other people can't give. But you said that she loves to run. I remember doing pre-season with that girl, and she's amazing. I'm still puffed thinking about it.
We can't wait to talk to Maddie Proud about this game when she joins us on the Pivot Couch tomorrow, when we think what we're expecting in the third quarter moving into the fourth. We know both of these teams have strong finishes. Is this going to come down to the mental battle of being calm under pressure?
It is, and it's about whoever has the best tactics to nullify the other team. We've seen so much out there already. What are we going to see in this second half, and who can keep their heads? You're completely right.
Looking forward to that one. That is moments away. But first, Suncorp would like to know why netball is important to you and just what the game means to you. So we would love you to submit your entry in 50 words or less, along with a video or an image of you and your club to foxsports.com.au/Suncorp, or simply scan the QR code on screen for your chance to win a family membership to the Suncorp Super Netball Club of your choice in the 2024 season. Now, this is Hazel's entry, ladies, where she has just started net, set, go, and even though she was a little bit nervous to start off with, she had the support of her kind coaches and her teammates. She was so excited when she learned how to shoot a goal for the very first time. That is a memory I'm sure that she won't soon forget. And I tell you what, if these Adelaide Thunderbirds can hang on to their 3-goal lead and extend it to more than that, although 1 goal would do it to beat the Swifts, they move into second place on the ladder and get a little bit closer to surviving through this premiership.
Welcome back, round 14 action. We're at a very full, very vocal Ken Rosewall Arena here in Sydney. And the minor premiers in New South Wales Swifts up against the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and at the moment find themselves on the ropes a little, down by 3. And that due to a massive second quarter from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They won it by the 5 goals. And they really did mix it up in terms of personnel. And we'll hopefully get down to their head coach in a moment and ask all about it. But there they are, and they're looking pretty relaxed now, aren't they, before they start this second half? Right, let's get straight down to Tanya Ops. And I'm not going to mince my words here, Tans. Some very interesting changes and plenty of them in that second quarter. What was the game plan there?
Oh, well, we sort of know that, you know, some changes in that defence end when Helen and Sophie come on with that two-point game. So we're just having a bit of a look at something different to see what that looks like, and probably hasn't been too bad so far.
So, come on, it hasn't been too bad. You've got to be joking. That has been phenomenal. Have you been working on that at training? Obviously, you just don't throw them out there.
Oh, look, a little bit. I think Shamira, you know, her coming out to goal defence is obviously very new for her, but lady back at keeper's not necessarily that different. So, yeah, you know, but they are ready for anything that we throw at them.
Well, the cards are close to the chest, but the fourth quarter in particular is your best, but it's also the Swifties' best. How do you nullify them in that last quarter?
Oh, look, I think we'll just try and stick to our processes. You know, we're doing that for longer in quarters. We need to probably do it for a full 15.
Thanks, Tans. We'll leave you to it. All the best for the
Thank
rest
you.
of the game. Kim Green, the cards couldn't be any closer to the chest, I would say. Ahead of the finals, doesn't want to give too much away here, Tanya Obbs, understandably.
I know, and, you know, testing with it here and there, I think they've been working on it all week.
Well, it clicked pretty quickly, didn't it? Another one there for Romelda Aiken-George. Let's talk about that key matchup. It was Aiken-George up against Shamira Sterling. What have you made of that in the opening half?
Yeah, I think Shamira Sterling has been fantastic, and you've seen Romelda Aiken-George go to the bench at multiple times throughout this game. So Sterling's certainly doing her job out there. Still a great matchup. I still think, you know, Aiken-George is doing her job, but it's a matter of mixing it up.
There they are, the Jamaican superstars. There she is, Aiken-George up the middle of the court. Well, the uncharacteristic fumbles coming from the New South Wales Swifts, and I mentioned it in that second quarter, maybe looking a little shaken by what's happening on the court. Well, what a great way to respond, though. The two captains combining. That's the experience and the fight that you want to see from the captains. Aiken-George, the New South Wales Swifts can get this back to 2.
And look who picks it up. It's Proud onto it. Although she is fighting in that attack end to make it look pretty, she's still getting it done. Hadley, for mine, has been a little bit quiet. We spoke about it at half-time. Here's that Harvey Norman replay. Both of those captains standing up in that space, but she only has 12 centre pass receives and 6 feeds to an A. That's really quiet for Hadley.
Yeah, absolutely quiet for Paige Hadley, isn't it? Williams. Nice little double between Dwan, finds her again. What will she do? Swings it to the available Georgie Horges. No one defending Horges on that occasion. Dwan makes good. Keeps that 3-goal buffer.
We've also seen the change of Turner out to wing defence and Yongi into that goalkeeper position. She's going to bring that little bit of height in that wing defence position, Turner. But then Yongi also just coming around the body a little bit more, creating a little bit of mayhem down there.
Oh, Wilson, it had to be a good ball to get over the top to Proud. Well, that one didn't get over the top of Shamira Sterling. So another win. The Adelaide Thunderbirds. Yeah, gets on with it. Williams. Oh, shame that penalty wasn't just allowed to go, Kim.
Yeah, well, they pushed them over to the goal defence side with Cloud being out on that one. But you can see the intent from the Thunderbirds wanting to get on quickly with the ball. There's the release from Proud. But it's the work of Sterling to push Romelda Aiken-George right out, almost to that power 5 space, that super shot area. You've got to readjust and get yourself back in that middle part of the goal circle.
Two of the best poker faces in the game. Sarah Cloud comes up with an all-important rebound for the New South Wales Swifts. Housby Well, both Hadley and Proud running on top of each other. Better set up, and you're right then, Aiken George gave herself far more space behind it.
Far more space, better angle, allowed the feeders to actually put a good ball in. The previous one, no ball should have gone in for that. Had to be repositioned and go again.
MB Thunderbirds got themselves in a great position at half-time. How do they keep their focus in this third quarter?
Yeah, they're looking like a different side we've seen in recent weeks, and they do look incredibly focused. You can tell they've had a good week on the track with those tactical changes that have been rolling out. I've been listening in to Tanya Opes yelling a lot, know your role. Every single player knows what they need to execute, and I think with that clear, direct messaging, we're seeing much clearer and direct play from them.
Stand out of play.
Well, the umpire's potentially recognising this game is teetering on the edge of getting out of control, because there's been a few words spoken about setting penalties and making sure they're exactly where they need to be. Cardwell, the chase. Oh, the little sneaky flick behind the back. That was very Cat Tuavati. Used to play for the New Zealand Silver Ferns, wasn't it? Now representing Tonga at the upcoming World Championships.
Well, and that's confidence, right? You don't do tricks unless you're confident in what you're doing. Let's have a look here. She does the little back flick. And then on the roll for the ball over. Smart player, knows her body well, knows how to position it.
Dwan waits patiently. Williams, well, she's been finding the top middle of the circle beautifully. Williams, Iongi!
Oh, get the throw in.
Tell me how on earth that's the case. Eleanor Cardwell can't work it out. We'll see if we can get a replay, because it looked like it wholly and solely came off Iongi, yet she's ended up with the rebound. Well, Wilson, here we are, bottom of the screen here. Iongi. Oh, hard to pick up. Maybe Cardwell finger got in the way.
I don't think so.
No, well...
Do you know who has the most throw-ins for the season?
It's got to be a defender, surely.
It's Courtney Bruce.
Is it? There you go. Fascinating stat. I think that's the first time we've ever used that stat. Thanks, Kimberly.
You're welcome.
If you're wondering where the clock has gone, we will keep you posted. We've lost it for a moment, so we're keeping an eye on the big screen here in the stadium. 8.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Another tip coming from LaTanya Wilson. We'll talk about a game. So far, have to be the MVP of this one. Gorgeous.
A nice little give and go, but you need to get going again on that one. On and offside. You can sense that the Swifts are starting to find their feet a little bit here, slowing them up in defence, in attack.
Hadley, well, she wanted to get on with it, but no one was ready for her. Proud.
And
the arms up. Oh, Romelda Aiken-George.
Again, it's that space, right? She's already there before the ball needs to be released.
So getting into her spot and then not shifting her feet and being pushed back. Is that what you're wanting to see from her?
She needs to, just where she is right now, and hold. No movement. Let the girls see the space. Let the players feed it to you. If you want it enough, we'll get it to you. That's what a mid-court, you know, that's how they talk.
An HCF tactical timeout. It is just one the difference here at Ken Rosewall Arena in Sydney. And it's going the way of the Adelaide Thunderbirds. So Tanya Obbs probably not happy with them allowing the Swifts back in. Let's have a listen.
Okay, when we don't give it, it disrupts our flow, and then we've got to reset and go again. Now, at times, it is there, and they're the one, we've got to just trust. This one, put the ball in this girl's hand, she'll take that ball. All right, we've got to look down there, okay?
I'm actually Ratdale Cardwell even knows John Farnham. Another win here to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They are not lacking game ball. Plenty of that in this game. Long ball over the top to Turner. Well, Turner's not lacking any either. Adelaide Thunderbirds, 11 gains in this round 14 contest. 9 of those to Latanya Wilson. Housby. Swing across the circle. Housby drive. Housby looking a little tired to me, Kim. That drive through the base. Not what we'd normally see from her.
No, and I think, you know, you kind of wanted to get on the front as well to allow that space for the ball to go over a little earlier. We see this Harvey Norman replay. Maddie Turner has had a hand in a few of those. And the chase, beautiful camera work there.
Well, it's back to level. And a miss from Austin. Who comes up with it? Georgie Horges picked up a couple of scraps. And that's the must-have being on the edge of the circle there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the sign of a good wing attack, just sitting there and waiting for every opportunity and not switching off.
A minute away from the third Power 5 of this game. Helen Housby, the big split. She'll take the one and she'll keep it interesting. 38 all.
Yeah, good defence here, good hands over, just allowing that pressure to build.
Back of play, just saw Nagavel waiting to be subbed into the game. Another one drops for Cardwell.
And here's the quick change of Latanya getting into that goal defence position as well, so she'll come back on. Surprising not in that goalkeeper position.
Well, continuing to mix it up are the Adelaide Thunderbirds and keeping the New South Wales Swifts guessing. And it's been a game plan that worked for them. Yeah, Turner, well and truly offside. Right in front of their coach, Bryony Akel. She won't like the look of that one and giving up possession to a side that's got all of the tricks up their sleeve today. There she is, the brains trusted in next to ex-Australian Diamond mid-court and Natalie Avellino. Smart ball from Austin, quick one over the top. Well, the Adelaide Thunderbirds now get back that 2-goal buffer, and it was right on the siren of the Power 5 time. Centre pass to follow. Gorgeous. Captain Hannah Petty on 2, well, straight to the other captain of the other side in Maddie Proud.
Well, and she saw it, just stayed there for a moment, and then went and attacked the ball whilst it's in the air. Perfect intercept.
Well, the Swifts swing it from one side of the court to the other. And Romelda Aiken-George, a big part of that play, won the difference. 4 minutes to play. Helen Housby, she'll want to inject herself right now. She hasn't missed a Suncorp super shot in this game, sitting at 4 from 4. Aiken, though, takes the one and gets them level. Oh, through the fingers of Nankerville, maybe a little sloppy on the take of the ball. Lucy Austin, the hands in the air, trying to rev up her side. Oh, Wilson. Again through the hands, though. Helen Housby. Too much on it. And the offensive rebound queen of the league can't pull that one in.
Well, this is good defence from the Swifts, pushing them all really wide. Have a look at those Thunderbirds on that sideline at the moment.
Well, trying to get those cracks to show again, aren't they, with the defensive pressure? And it comes through Aiken-George. Oh! Look at Aiken-George too, the sense to put a hand up and say, okay, stop. Everybody breathe, settle it down, and let's build again from here.
Also give me a moment to get into position.
True.
And there it is.
In position now, and the Swifts take the lead again. There's the tip from Aiken-George, kept onside. The Harvey Norman replay, the chase from Turner. Well, a bit of showtime coming from the New South Wales Swifts. Nathan George wants to become a little bit of a playmaker looking at this, doesn't she? Ball on a string, working it around a circle.
And that's a good feed. They don't need to go for the twos just yet. Just keep chipping away. I've loved that this game has to and fro the whole time. It's, you know, you're seeing brilliance from the Thunderbirds, but then you see this. Placement, the touch on the ball. It's just that disconnect. But it's been a great tussle to see.
You talk about the ebbs and flows. The Swifts won the first quarter by 2. The Adelaide Thunderbirds the next quarter by 5. And the New South Wales Swifts find themselves up by 5 in this third quarter. So if those first 3 are anything to go by, the Adelaide Thunderbirds are going to be up the scoring end for the fourth and final quarter of this game. Again, smart, patient work. Oh, that felt like it was in the hands a very long time. Another one through the hands of Aiken George.
And these are moments in the game where you can't wait for a penalty. You need to get 2 hands on everything. You need to make sure of everything.
Well,
work
even the Swifts
together.
mascot didn't like that one, Kim.
And look at these Nissan net points. Wilson's still sitting at the front, but Proud getting back up there as well. So you can see the workload from the captain from the Swifts.
Petty, well, making really sure of it, isn't she? And in doing so, I think potentially holding the ball a little too long. Austin, great setup, but they want the super shot here. Elle Cardwell in charge of draining it, and she does. So back to level. 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Helen Housby.
Oh.
Well, it's Aiken George, the responsibility of a Suncorp super shot. The crowd willed it. 6 seconds. Adelaide Thunderbirds have got to go long here. They're going to run out of time, and they do just that. Oh, Kim Green, doesn't this set us up for a brilliant final quarter? It is level peggings here at Kent Rosewall Arena, 42-42.
What you don't want to do, Elle, is come back up. Yeah? If you come up and then come up that way. Lucy comes or we go Elle. Yeah? We want to use Elle in the second phase hole, not coming up into Turner's line. Or you swinging down yourself.
Welcome back. Three-quarter time brought to you by Origin Energy. What a ball game we've got on our hands. 42 apiece. And there's plenty of talk going on in the Adelaide Thunderbirds team huddle. Interesting to note, Tracy Neville, a lot to say to the goal shooters.
Yeah, she's talking about that second phase on a centre pass and making sure that Elle Cardwell is on a hold for that. So that's interesting to take note. But if not, got to see Hall just get going on that. The other thing that I really saw is that they talked about the defence and the transition in attack, making sure that they're taking the inside drive and not just sitting on the outside. We spoke about that in the last quarter. Nothing but red is in that middle. Some pink has to be in there somewhere.
And plenty of pink right there as they go into their very last huddle of the game. And they would dearly love to get the win here. Potentially get themselves into that second spot. But at the very least, they'll be third and they'll host the minor semi-final next week.
What a great opportunity to just step up right here, right now. This will show whether or not they're ready for a premiership.
Emily Beaton was in the Swifts huddle. What did you pick up down there, Em?
Yeah, Coach Akel was talking about this crowd and how loud it is, just reminding them it's only going to get louder as this game goes on and asking them to get aggressive and really rip that ball in. It's something the Thunderbirds do so well. It was also interesting to watch Maddie Proud get a lot of attention to her knee. We've seen her move to wing attack, so we'll see if there's anything troubling her there.
And what do you think about that change of Proud going back, regardless of if it is a bit of a niggle? Do you think that's the right change?
Yeah, look, I think it is. I think we've spoken about Hadley not having as big an impact on the game so far, and it could be to bring her into it. Proud's having a stellar game, I think, so far. So I think it could be to bring Paige into the fold.
Thanks, Em. Well, also got to keep an eye on Latanya Wilson. She was getting a bit of attention in that three-quarter time break as well. So let's hope both players are okay. Sarah Clow continues to be a menace. Would love to win some clean ball back, though, for the New South Wales Swifts. Austin has remained on to start this fourth quarter, Kim.
Yeah, she's done really well for the Thunderbirds. I think she's been a really strong target so that Cardwell can get in and out. With Dwan on, I found that she was just running, trying to outrun the whole time. Something a little bit punchier, and that's what Cardwell can bring in that goal attack position.
Hadley to Housby. Proud. Over the top. Yeah, Aiken-George. That was a beautifully placed ball, wasn't it? Nowhere for Shamira Sterling to go, but through the body.
And again, a nice hold. I wouldn't be surprised if Nat Avellino went straight to Romelda and said, hey, we need you to set up this way and let me show you how to do it.
Petty. Wilson, all the way back to Sterling. Makes me nervous. Wilson, Williams.
And that's a good feed, good setup.
Exactly why she's there too, Kim. You're so right. They now have 2 on-strike shooters, big targets. Cardwell, well, she's been good in defence for the Thunderbirds again. Well, starting to get some defensive tips and build pressure early, the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Nice release on that. Just waiting for Housby to get across on that drive.
.45 all here. 12 minutes remaining in this contest. Housby couldn't get the legs up.
It was interesting on that centre pass. You could pick it up on that camera work. They were doing a wall, the Swifts, and they were trying to keep everyone up on second phase. So keep an eye on that. There's a lot of physicality going on that second phase.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say, Georgie, let it go.
Well, she did.
Yeah. When you've got 2 big targets like that, as you say, Kim, you just got to back them, don't you?
Yeah.
The longer they have to hold off a body pushing them, hard work.
Well, and Iongi's been great at getting her footwork around, so if you don't give it straight away, it's not going to be there.
Aiken. Yeah, smart work again. Held strong, Romelda Aiken. Pulled the penalty. This should be an easy one for the likes of a Helen Housby. Takes her 11th goal in regular time. Just the 1 miss.
You can see it again. Both Turner and Hadley trying to keep them up high.
Oh, lucky to keep that, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Not a well-placed ball into Austin. Oh, it's getting fiery, isn't it? And exactly as Bryony Akel said, you can hear the crowd start to now get really into this contest. Austin, couple of misses under the post.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a matter of getting herself into this quarter, and you don't have any time. You have to get in, and you've got to get in quickly. The next minute will be crucial for her with her confidence.
Latanya Wilson, nothing wrong with her confidence as we see this Harvey Norman replay and a bit of push and shove happening outside the circle. Oh, Petty had a good look at it. Shamira Sterling. Well, it was nobody else's but hers, up cleanly, well timed. Yeah, just almost a little sloppy on the aggression onto the ball from Hodges.
Oh, and it's slow. It just looked like, oh, it's the only option and we're just going to slowly get it there. Come on, energy. You've got to get it down there. Transition is important.
Well, as you mentioned, this is the best quarter from both sides. So which side is it now, though, that stands up? For mine, the New South Wales Swifts have the experience of closing out these close games. We've seen them do that time and time again this season.
and especially at home. They love it. They thrive off it. There's 9,000 people here today.
That crowd only going to be bigger next week as they play the major semi-final from Sydney.
Imelda sitting nice and high on that one, but then ends up really, really close to that baseline.
Doesn't want to take the shot though, interestingly enough. Gives it off to Sophie Fawns, maybe about just giving her a bit of confidence, injecting her in the game. It's been a while.
I think that was a bit of leadership, just showing, hey, have a crack at this one. It's an easy one under the post.
Embiid, what have you made of Lucy Austin staying on court in this final quarter and starting instead of Tippett Wan?
Yeah, I think it's a good move. At the moment, they're not having great success with their shooting stats at the moment, but having her in there as a rebounder, I think, is a great thing for the last quarter. We know that Romelda Aiken is the offensive rebound queen. To have that and to have someone when you want to put up super shots or longer shots, knowing that she has got that height difference over Iongi, I think it's a great move.
Very good point you make, because we are only 3 minutes away from that Suncorp super shot, the Power 5.
3 minutes until we see the big change again. Do we see Sterling go out and Wilson go back?
Who knows what Tanya Robson's got up her sleeve after what we've already seen in this contest, but my guess, the scores stay this close. Something's going to happen. Clow. A timely intercept from Sarah Clow. The Australian Diamonds team found out yesterday if they were in the side or not. The players on court will know. Hasn't been announced to the public yet. Is she one of them, Sarah Clow?
She has to be. In the defence end, she would have been my first pick. She has been that good this season.
As has Maddie Proud, though, another player that could be a part of this World Cup team. Keep your eyes and your ears on that announcement. To the difference. The New South Wales Swifts taking control of this game a little in this fourth quarter.
Bahor just doing everything she can. She's made multiple moves in this attack end on this play.
Austin spoke about her getting some confidence, and that was a good, confident shot. Won the difference, and a couple of minutes away from the Power 5, Fawns. Well, she's recognised that a couple of times. Really exploiting the long ball, and Shamira Sterling not fully paying attention.
In, yes, that's a great feed. It's the fake to look wide, but it's the drive as well. It has to be there. Draw it, fake it, get it in.
Another long ball over the top, so Shamira Sterling getting beaten on 3 long balls in as many minutes. New South Wales Swifts get themselves up by 2. Cardwell, back to Wilson. Williams has been a good steadier, hasn't she, since she's come onto the court, Kim?
She has, and like I said previously, the fact that she didn't have a great game last week, bit of miscommunication there. She didn't have a great game last week. She's had to fight for her opportunity to get back out on court. You don't want to miss that.
Cardwell, it dribbles in, won the difference. Just over 20 seconds away from the Power 5. What sort of shenanigans are we going to see from both teams? The Thunderbirds pick up another all-important ball. Oh, all the tricks coming out from Cardwell in this second half of the game, and Austin. Well, that's another big shot in the scheme of things, Kim Green.
It was, and it was a great swing, the opportunity to see that you could open up a different angle. Look at that miss and net points. Match leaders Wilson. Gosh, she's been good and proud. We've spoken about them continuously throughout this game, but both teams got lots of players in there.
Oh, she's found the hot hand, hasn't she now, Lucy Austin? They take the lead back. It is a complete arm wrestle in this fourth quarter. They can't be separated. It's 11 apiece in this fourth quarter.
Well, and have a look at this Thunderbirds defence. You can see the one-on-one from Petty. Just a bit of an opening there. Williams not doing a job.
You can hear the crowd scream, and they will again. Helen Housby, no. Sophie Fawns, a Suncorp super shot. It rings out. The rebound looked like it came off the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Well, that's either contact or it's the Swifts throwing.
Or a make-up for the last one.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we talk about netball karma, don't we? It always ends up even.
Well, the crowd, listen to them. The loudest they have been throughout this game. Going to cheer their side across the line. Elle Cardwell nails it. Loves these pressure moments, and we have seen this so often from Elle Cardwell.
She's brought so much confidence to this attack end.
3 the difference. She can make it 5. Can't, but there is the beauty of the height in Austin.
And Beaton said it. It's about having height under the post there for those rebounds. You're 100% right, Belzy.
Well, that's why we have her working with us. Knows what she's talking about. Beaton for the difference. 3 minutes to play. The New South Wales Swifts finding themselves under some pressure. The Adelaide Thunderbirds bench up on their feet. The confidence they would take from getting a win over the Swifts.
Here's the lift and then
one again! Twice in a row! Can they make it 3? They can't. Housby! Well, it's all happening here in the final minutes. One of the greatest defensive plays you will see in our competition, Kim. And it's worked twice effectively for the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Twice. I'm sure they've just tinkered with that at training too.
Elle Cardwell, another. Makes it 5 Suncorp super shots, and surely there's a timeout. Here it comes. HCF tactical timeout. Bryony Akel wants to chat with her group. 2 minutes to play. 4 goals to make up. Let's have a listen.
All right, let's go, excited. We need direct ball, all right? So I don't want to reset it. Fake to reset, we must punch forward quickly. If they get a shot, you've got to get the ball back quick, all right? Give it a go. In the drill, we need a training room like Paige. Go for every second ball, it's like that. Let's go for it, let's go. Let's go, got this. You still got this, so not leaving from here. Let's go. Let's go, I'll switch. Let's go.
Well, there you have Bryony Akel saying, if you need to take every second ball, you do it, Hadley. So she wants Hadley to step up, especially in these last 2 minutes. And it's the license and confidence to go and do what you need to do. If you need to win it ugly, let's get it done.
I'll be very intrigued as to what the messaging was from Tanya Obst in that particular timeout as well. Let's get down to MB.
Yeah, it was just, they were very up and about in the Thunderbirds huddle. You can see everyone listening intently to Coach Tanya Obst. They were chatting to the defenders a lot, actually, about the attacking coming out, checking that Latanya Wilson's okay, Hannah Petty's going to lead that, and telling Shamira Sterling to be really disciplined in defence.
Oh, discipline in defence, they were not just then. Helen Housby goes down, and she's a little ginger. Such a competitor, though. Shamira Sterling, it was a 2-on-1, Kim Green, and she's come up with the ball.
I think the Swifts knew they wanted to get that super shot in and get to Housby, and it was just the placement of the ball.
Telegraphed it.
100%, knew exactly where it was going.
On the Adelaide Thunderbirds, by contrast, look like they've got 1,000 options with the 2 talls.
And they don't care to be in the super. This is the beauty of this last 5 minutes of a quarter. And that's clean, getting around the body, outside arm.
5 the difference. There is a mountain to climb here for the New South Wales Swifts. Well, this could be 1 back, 2 back. If Helen Housby can get her hands on the ball in the white arc.
And if anyone can do it, it's the Swifts. We've seen it time and time again.
The only thing that may beat them is this clock.
Oh, it's a risky ball.
They know where it's going, don't they? Romelda Rakin can't keep the rebound. Well, the Adelaide Thunderbirds want to chew up as much clock as they possibly can here. Latanya Wilson knows it. Williams does not.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication on what the tactic is there, but time is on their side for this game, unfortunately, for the Swifts.
Well, they need to be semi-direct here, don't they, the New South Wales Swifts? They want as much time back as they can. Helen Housby gets 2 back. 3 the difference. It's the New South Wales Swifts centre pass kick. They can get this back to 1, but is the clock going to beat them? Helen Housby through the hands. Shamira Sterling. It's the match-winning ball.
2 big plays, huge plays from Sterling. Just getting her footwork around the little tips.
Well, the clock's going to probably beat Austin as well. There it is. Well, as ACDC would say, the New South Wales Swifts have just been thunderstruck. The T-Birds keep the top 2 finals hopes alive, and they get back some much-needed confidence ahead of the finals. What a game. Seesawing from start to finish. But they take a 3-goal win here. And they put an end to the run for the New South Wales Swifts. It was 9 wins in a row. Sammy Wallace and Shamira Sterling come together. Well, what a performance, Kim Green. Both sides. Just ebbs and flows of that game, quite incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible, but the difference, 17 games to 13 to the Swifts, to the Thunderbirds, Swifties sitting on 13. But they had 24 turnovers. That's big for the Swifts, isn't it? There's a lot there.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic, and I'm going to put that down to a lot of the personnel changes on court that maybe shook them a little. Coming from the Adelaide Thunderbirds, some brilliant coaching from Tanya Oates, Tracy Neville. Let's get straight down to Emily Beaton with the MVP.
I'm with Latanya Wilson, the player of the match. Talk to me about that win and that performance from your team after the back of some very tough weeks. How are you feeling?
Oh my God, words cannot explain how I'm feeling. I'm super happy of that performance. I believe in my team, and I know that we have this, and it was just going back to the drawing board, correct those errors that we have been made in previous game, and we did bloody awesome today.
And talk to me not just about the players in your team, but your coaching staff seem to have a very impressive game themselves. What is their mind power like there?
Oh my God, they believe in us, and you can see that they believe in us as players. And with combination, everything is just trusting players, and you can see that we're not just a team of 7, but a team of 10, and that's incredible that we're a team of 10, and every team needs 10 players to actually play that game.
And now we've finished the minor rounds. We head into finals next week. What can we expect from the Thunderbirds in week 1?
Oh my God, just greatness. I mean, we got to go back again to the drawing board because we know that Vixen is a tough team, and coming up against them, we're going to need to actually fix those errors that we made the last time we played against them. Yeah, and just give it a go like we did today.
And you personally, the most incredible performance, one of the best games I've seen you play. Was there anything that you did differently tonight?
Not really. I just knew that I had a task ahead of me, and I just it's do or die, and that's what I did today.
Well, congratulations, enjoy this win, and good luck next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Emily, and congrats to the player of the match, Latanya Wilson, and you heard it come out of her mouth next week. Expect the greatness. Kim Green, what does this mean to the ladder? Let's have a look at it. The Adelaide Thunderbirds, as I said, they're keeping it interesting.
Yeah, certainly keeping it interesting. You see the Thunderbirds go up into that second position. Swifts obviously still get that home semi, but West Coast Fever and Vixen still to play. We will see that result of the West Coast Fever and Collingwood game tonight. So we'll shuffle a few things. They get the win. Adelaide Thunderbirds will probably host at home.
Well, it keeps it interesting, doesn't it? And the good news is, whilst it's done for us here, stay with us on Fox Netball, because it's going to be a very emotional night in Tasmania next. as we farewell a club and one of the game's all-time greats. Ash Brazel and the Collingwood Magpies say goodbye as they take on the West Coast Fever, who we just saw need a win to get that second spot. That's coming up right after this on Fox Netball.